Well, hi there, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where we'll bring you up to speed with all the developments that are going on, and there are many of them. And Laf's going to be having a discussion in your call with the new sponsors of the Gold Cup, and Mike McCabe. He's a great friend of horse racing, owns horses, and great having him in the studio with Graham Hawkins, so that should be fun.
Yeah, it's still the Elian Group's Gold Cup, but it's becoming a two-day festival, and Mark McCabe's Pro Sport are going to be handling it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, what's not so good was I think that you might have been a bit disappointed on Saturday.
I was disappointed. Spurs was a good game. We self-destructed. I don't think we should have lost, but that happens.
When you got to 2-2.
Yeah, but not so much the point. The two goals we gave away, stupid free kick in the 3rd minute, and then he played a formation I would never have played. But who might argue them? He played Song at wing back, and you saw he gave away the penalty. You had to play Davies. You didn't play Kyle Walker at drive back. Keep 4 across the back like we used to play. We've won 7 in a row. Suddenly he changes it for a semi-final. So I was disappointed, but well done to Chelsea. They're a great side. And then your boys were very good, James. They came back.
Well done.
Did you watch him?
Yeah, I was like, I'm back, you know.
You're back. You found your voice.
Wenger's not so bad.
Wenger must stay.
Wenger must go. Anyway.
They've got a clip, James, of the United Airlines pulling off that doctor off the aeroplane, the one who got assaulted and broke his nose and all that. And they've superimposed the face of Wenger. Wenger must go. They're dragging him off this aeroplane. But listen, he did well. He's always been a good manager. His team did well. They played for.
No, we're an FA Cup side, a fuck up side.
I think, James, you've got to say Liverpool blew it. 2-1 to Crystal Palace at home. They lost. Yeah. You know, and Man United played well. They went to Burnley, which is never easy, and they won 2-0, I think. So it was a good result for some teams. Everton stuttered during the weekend, so they got themselves under pressure.
What interested me more was I watched a bit of rugby over the weekend, which I'm prone to. Yes. And I would say, just straight off the bat, the Sharks players should not get a match fee. They should actually not get paid to play like that.
Esterhuizen. He should be banned.
Well, you know, Esterhuizen did a very silly thing. Okay? Again. But the problem is that when they got to 14 men each, okay, and they were now 9-6 in front, yes, and you've got a minute to go, and you're rolling the ball up, and they're over the ball, let them take it. And then just defend against them. Yeah. To give away a penalty inside the 10-metre box is absolute madness to end up drawing the game. You're not professional sportsmen if you do that.
They've got to go play Jaguares away.
They're going to get clubbed, I'm telling you. And they deserve to get clubbed. They're so one-dimensional, it's not impossible. They run the ball into the forwards all day. Instead of using the backs, they've got a potent bunch of backs. They should be pushing them out to the back. Let them run at a side like that.
The Kiwi sides again? They thumped the Stormers.
Yeah.
You know, the teams that are coming up against us. The Australian teams, the South African teams are way behind the Kiwis.
Only the Lions. Let me tell you, the Lions up there with them all. And you'll see at the end of the day, they got to the final last year.
Yeah,
and they'll get
that's
to the
last
final
year.
this year.
There's no chance they get the final.
They'll get to the final this year. Okay, well, I've given my predictions, and we've got predictions for all sorts of things. So it will be interesting to see what they are. But I'm going to predict that there's 3 very good horses to follow. Have a close look at this lot. Right, well, let's go to Kenilworth on Tuesday and go and have a look at quite a nice horse that was running in the 3rd race, 1,200 metres at Kenilworth, Fresnay, by Western Winter out of a Dubai destination mare, beautifully bred by the Drockenstein stud, Gaynor Rupert, and owned by them and trained by Joey Ramsden, Donovan Dillon. There's a typical Joey Ramsden first run. Let's go and have a look.
James, I see the commentator calls it a different name.
He calls
it Fresnay, I think, or something.
Well, he's Cape, so he would know. You know.
Right, it's slowly out the gate. You can see it was trapped 4, and it's slowly out the gate, and Donovan doesn't force it along. Your eventual winner, Emerald Galdism's Hassan Adams' colours with the blinkers on. Very fast, shows a lot of speed. And then so does Samsara, who's runner-up. But I thought this is a very good debut, James.
Well, she's not even in picture at the moment. She's out of picture. She's really got a lot of ground to make up, this filly, and she's very, very good indeed, the way she ran here. She's starting to creep up now on the outside fence, and she's in behind the horse with pink colours, and there's not much room here. You'll see she comes towards the outside, and she tries to get a run up the outside here, but doesn't really get it, and then has to switch in.
Yeah, she runs a very good race, James. She's a Western Winter from Drakenstein stud. And this is a smart debut because it's very tight for front of her, and she's not reluctant, but it's I think a very good debut.
Absolutely, come on a ton from this. Could be a very nice filly, nice big strong filly. Got the pedigree and could be quite useful. So let's keep a close look on this one. And normally Jay Ramsden's horses improve quite a lot. We then move on to Greyville, and we picked up 2 at Greyville on Sunday. Race 2 and race 3, both 1,200 meters for fillies, 2 beautiful fillies, and got pedigrees to go with them. Let's go to the first one in the Mary Slack colours.
Yeah, this is called Lunar Child, and runs a very good race. You'll see it coming out of trap 5. Not a bad jump, but gets gathered up by Craig Zaki, and you can see Mary's famous silks. Going off the front is Frankie Robinson's horse, Zarnitsa. Runs a very good race as well. The winner is in the Alesh Naidu colours in the red and blue, which is in second. A beautifully bred horse called Light on Her Toes. And these two dictate the race, but the horse we found is in 6th, James, and a good few lengths off them.
Yeah, now she's bred by Wilgerbos and Maritz Fontaine and owned by Mary Slack. They've obviously retained her to race. She's by Ideal World out of Rambo Dancer mare. Looks like the nice type of pedigree, this, you know, Ideal World onto the Northern Dancer. Looks like great mating. And I like the look of this filly. She's beautiful looking filly in the parade ring. And here she is, 3 off the left-hand side of your screen in the black with the red cap. And she starts moving up between them, but never really given a really hard ride, and she just runs on extremely well.
Yeah, very nice run. The front 2, it's a great race for the front 2, and the well-bred Light on Her Toes shakes off Zarnitsa to win, but plugging on for 3rd, James, she wasn't beaten that far at the end. It's a good run.
Absolutely. She's going to go a trip, this filly, and certainly with that run under the belt, the first 2 both had runs.
Yes.
And Light on Her Toes from a very bad draw ran extremely well last time, yeah, and looked like the winner of the race, which she ended up being. And Zarnitsa's run 2 very good races, the Karori of Frank Robinson's. So those first 2, the third one was just as impressive, if not more impressive. Green Ice from Alesh Naidu's colours, yeah, in the third race, 1,200 meters. So you have a look at this. This is a cracking run.
Yeah, there it is. It's in Alesh Naidu's colours. We've seen the last winner come out of those colours. Very hesitant at the gate, and doesn't get away on terms, and finds itself under pressure. Victory Trip is your eventual winner. Goes up in the Ferreira colours to grab the lead, and shows good speed. Estimal is coming over. That's the runner-up, the big horse with Delpesh. But have a look how far back this horse. It's on the fence, James, in the back trio.
Yeah, absolutely. Greg Sheen dropped her in behind immediately, got her on the fence, which is great education for her. And he's here just keeping her at a job. But watch what happens in the straight. He goes out and finds all sorts of trouble on this filly before she ends up going in and running on. So here she is now he's goes out with her instead of going in. If he'd gone in, he might have troubled the winner, this filly, because now she's got
very
trouble.
tight.
She's tight, and she looks like she's been put into a real difficult position. But he just gathers her up, puts a stick into his left now, I think. There you go. Put the stick in the left, gives her a smack, gives it a couple of smacks, and then just, punches her out to the line. One smack there. But my goodness, did that run on well. Whew.
Yeah, very nice. Remember the name, Green Ice.
Green Ice. Another one for the Black Book. And if you keep a line on what horses, in fact, we should do that. One show, we're going to show the last 12 months horses we put in the Black Book. There's some pretty good ones.
Very self-indulgent.
Raymond's giggling in the background because he knows he's going to have to
dig
pull
them
out.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he doesn't dig them out, sits in his office and tells
the team.
Denise to dig them out. She's got to do it. Now, Brenda's got to dig them out. And Denise. And all the other Nice people. All the other Nice people there. Yeah.
Denise,
okay. Well, they pull them all out, so that's what we'll do at a later show when we've got ourselves sorted out. But we're going to move on and have a look at Blast from the Past. Probably the last Blast from the Past you'll have.
set to go. R1,000,000, 1,160 metres and away and racing. Cloth of Cloud was slightly slow away, but nothing serious at the start over there. As Riverine is quickly into stride along the inside from He's a Var. Approval Mode and Double Appeal with Outshine racing 2.5 lengths off the leader. Then comes Cloth of Cloud, racing about 4 off them. Alongside that is Rightful King. Further back to Janubi, and the back markers Chili Con Carne. There's about 6 lengths covering the field in the SA Nursery. Now as they run towards the 700-metre mark, and it's Riverine that leads them. From along the inside, He's a Var, 3 lengths away on the outside. Rightful King has started an early move. Then comes behind that Double Appeal. Cloth of Cloud has got 5 lengths to make up Outshine. Behind that Approval Mode, Janubi and Chili Con Carne. 350 to go. And in front is Riverine is kicked 2 lengths clear of He's a Var. Further back, Cloth of Cloud is now starting to peg them back. In behind that Double Appeal. Riverine the one to get to. Cloth of Cloud is finishing strongly down the inside. Cloth of Cloud is coming the best of all down the inside, and Cloth of Cloud has swept past them. This is a champion. Cloth of Cloud a length. Second Riverine, third Double Appeal, and fourth placing will go to Outshine.
Cloth of Cloud, well, we haven't seen her.
For a long time, you haven't, but exceptional. Group 1 winner, very talented.
Group 1 pedigree.
The Irish boys got involved with the locals, and very good filly.
Very good filly. Anyway, that will be it from Blast from the Past. Look forward to next week's new slot, which should be fun. Plum of the Week. We're going to see what happens here, and this is something that will stay with us because it's always quite interesting if you read into what we've got to say.
On the outside, a video between the two of them. Sarissa still leads it. Crambambouli becomes the danger. Crambambouli now moves up on the inside and hits the front, and it's Crambambouli running too strong. Crambambouli will win it. Second place gets tight. That will just go to Sarissa, then Sun on Africa and Cape Speed.
Well, the Highland Night Cup saw Crambambouli run against Ovidio. They've run 3 times before, and Crambambouli's won every time, beaten him every time.
Funny enough, the saddle did slip on Ovidio, so it would have finished closer,
but
obviously.
He beat him again, okay? And on Interbet, you could have got opening betting. Well, at the death, you could have got 3 to 1, 33 to 10, much as you like about Crambambouli. What is interesting is the Highland Night Cup. It's a nice little non-black type event. You'd think it would be a nice prep race for all these horses that are supposedly going for Gold Cups and Gold Vases and all that. But there's just a lack of
there's a dearth.
Stayers racing.
Yeah, we've got to have more stayers.
I think there are a lot of
all the way
stayers.
through, James, from the bottom right
well,
the way
that's
through.
the problem.
They get older, they mature.
You can't get stayers through, you know. So you've got a 4-year-old horse that's a one-time winner like I ran my horse in here. He had no right to be in the Highland Night Cup, but that's the only race that you can find in the next month for him, or 2 months. Horse is fit and well, you might as well run it. And at least it helps the field. At least we kept the field to 7 or 8 horses. Ran way above its merit rating. But the problem is that there's no way that you can bring stayers through, and I think that the program should be addressed seriously. We breed a lot of stayers in this country. And our stayers races have been downgraded. The Gold Cup's been downgraded and downgraded.
But now we've got the Gold Cup Festival coming on, so we've got to start looking at getting the whole vibe again, and we need to get staying races in.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with current affairs.
Hi, my name is Gregory Blank. I'm an ex-stockbroker and involved in private equity and stock markets. But my passion for the last 40 years has been horse racing. I initially started off as an owner. We then got into breeding and then into trading. And obviously by default became a punter. The most exciting part, apart from being as a winner, is having a winning bet at the same time. Obviously that's not always easy, but with the help of Interbet and their transparent information, it makes trading and betting a lot easier. I've had over 38 Group 1 winners, and continue to try to strive for that thrill of having a winner. The thrill of owning a horse and winning a race is indescribable. But if they're serious about it and serious about punting, is to get a leg in and really follow Interbet to the max. It's the only way they can be ahead of the game.
Right, welcome to another edition of Current Affairs. We've had some listed racing down in KZN, and good to see some of the good horses coming out. But the big one of the week was certainly the Empress Club Stake, Group 1 for fillies, and a great success for Maritz Fontaine again.
Well, Princess Charlene arrived here, and it was very interesting that she came here because there was a very big event in Monaco, and I saw her husband handing out a trophy to Nadal. For the tennis, you know, it was the big ATP 1000 event there, and he's won it 10 times. And so, you know, that she made the effort to come out here. She, after all, is the princess, and she's, you know, in charge of a principality. They had a big event there, but she is South African, and she's a fantastic ambassador to South Africa. And, wonderful. You know, the two Charlenes, Charlize Theron and Charlene, Princess Charlene, are, you know, the two girls from the East.
Two beautiful women.
Beautiful
women.
No,
she does a wonderful job. It's always good to get her out here. And I see that Larry Weinstein got the gang to play ball. They're dressed up. They look good. It looked like a very good day up there.
Oh, superb day. And what made it even more superb was the result of this race, because I think that when you get royalty together and you get royalty winning a race, that's what it's all about. South African royalty won the race. So let's go and have a look at the Group 1 Empress
Club Stakes.
Right. Empress Clubs.
And they racing away to a good start. First one to go is Heaps of Fun. Fort Ember along her inside, tries to snuff her out, but to no avail. Another Russia's right up there. Negro Amaro now races up into third. Another Russia dropped into fourth. Killaway is next, and Safe Harbour's in sixth position in the yellow cap. Tahini and Star Express, they together about 5 lengths off the leader. The Centenary is trapped on the outside of those. Then further back to Intergalactic and Juxtapose. They race about 8 lengths from the leader. 2 lengths back to Trophy Wife, Anna Pavlova. Then comes Polyphonic Alhora, and at the back of the field is Bella Sonata. They have 900 meters left to go. Heaps of Fun is in front by 1 length. Negro Amaro went up to race in second. Fort Ember's been given the run of the race in the blue sleeves and cap in third. Killaway is exposed at their outside. Then further back in the field to Safe Harbour. The yellow cap just behind the leaders. Star Express at her outside. Another Russia's only 4 lengths adrift. Juxtapose is asked to run. Then comes Intergalactic and Tahini. They get to the final 500 meters now. Heaps of Fun feels some pressure from Fort Ember. Killaway. Another Russia's on the premises. So too is Safe Harbour. A few lengths away to Negro Amaro. Then comes Tahini. As they get into the final 300 meters, another Russia has struck the front. Second place towards the outside is Heaps of Fun, who's staying on. Further back then to Bella Sonata from the back of the field and Fort Ember. It's another Russia with a 2-length lead in the Emperor's Club. Bella Sonata's second, but another Russia hangs on tenaciously. Another Russia wins. Second goes to Bella Sonata. Then came Safe Harbour. Tahini's and Photos further back.
Well, there we go. Pedigree will out. Well done to Michael de Kock and his team, and of course to Jessica. She was very excited. Wonderful to see the passions there, and as I say, a big day's racing. And this filly, Michael had concerns at how she would step up to the Group 1 plate, but loved it and won a very good race, James.
What's interesting with this filly is that when you go back to how it all started, that Jessica bought it without Mary knowing. Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
At the sales, yeah. Jessica bought it from Mary at the sales.
Yes.
And then the filly had all types of problems. You remember her last race, she came from stone last, she wouldn't corner well, she came on the outside.
Yeah, that's right.
And she's got so much more mature and much better. But apparently what's helped her is that Milan de Toy has been helping her, you know, the horse whisperer.
Yeah.
Now, we saw what he did in Dubai with Foree. And he's obviously made a big difference to this filly, but because that's what they do, these horse whisperers. They just get horses to have more confidence. This filly could go all the way, the way she won.
Filly. Very good filly. And I was very pleased for Gavin van Zel's horse, Bella Sonata, for main chance. Good to see Glenn Hatt up there. He's taken to the role and ran a very good race running on, beating the Terry pair.
Well, that was the next good thing about the race was Bella Sonata ran right up there with where she is rated, you know, and obviously another Russia is going to be bumped up in the merit rating for that, which she deserves to be. She could easily be a filly that will be a contender for the races down here. You know, obviously you've got to think of races like
Wool Avington.
Well, that's for 3-year-olds.
Wasn't this?
No.
Wait for age.
Yeah. So
there were some 3-year-olds in the race.
Will Avington wouldn't be, but I think that the July might be a long-term preparation.
Could well
be. She might going. I like that other filly for the Will Avington of Mike's Orchid Island. I think her name's also
something like it. Yeah. Michael's getting a nice string together when you consider he's also got that smart Schnitzel colt.
Well, I wonder what's going to buy. We'll be finding out what will be leaving.
I presume that Schnitzel colt will go. He's getting better and stronger. But I'm absolutely guessing. I don't know.
Talking about racing, you're involved, you're director of this company, and there's obviously been a lot of chat about what happened at the starting stalls yesterday in the first race. What was the story there?
The story was the rail was put up in such a way that when the pens came into place against the outside fence, it was very, very tight. And the jockeys were the first to notice it, and they were completely right. They had put the rail in the wrong place. It would have taken 30, 40 minutes to get it back in place.
You would have had to change the whole rail back.
Rail back, and so they just asked.
Surely this begs the question. The racing executive, I think, is in charge of these type of things as far as Gold Circle's concerned. But the stipes surely need to know that the track is configured right for a race day.
We cannot blame the stipes here. You know, I'll be the first to put my hand up there. If a stipe had to go look at the course, he'd see it's fine. Yeah. He'd see the fine. He hasn't got a pens in place when he has a look. So it's not their department. I think that the groundsmen here and the track officials have got to put their hands up. And it was an unfortunate problem of which the stipes are completely exempt. And they had
How was it resolved? I saw your horse
They asked for 2 guys to volunteer to take the horses. Myself and Dean Canterbury took the horse. We were going to lose the race. That was the last thing we wanted. Abandon the race. I said, I'll take mine out. And then I phoned the owner overseas, told him the reason. I said, fine, no problem. And then Dean had 2 in the race. And Dean...
It might have suited you from a bad draw. You now find a good draw.
You know, draw 11 was... no, I've got no complaints, you know. And the horse who won looks very smart. So that was the call in the first. We got it right.
Shall we move on to talk about Cape Cross? He passed on, unfortunately.
What a great stallion, James.
Great stallion.
Yeah, now, we've had a couple here. I think Nils Hogue bought a Cape Cross filly out here years ago, and his brother, I think, bought it for him for $1 million and gave it to Dennis to train. Name escapes me, but if you go back to big ones...
That wasn't the name escapes me. That's another horse.
That's another horse, that's right. Ouija Board, you know, was that fantastic filly of Dunlop's. Yeah. She was very, very good. See the Stars, superstar, great stallion. And there's another big one, James.
Golden Horn.
Correct, Golden Horn. Arc, Derby.
Oppenheimer's.
Yes.
Anthony Oppenheimer.
Those are 3 superstars.
Yeah.
You know, so a sad loss, Cape Cross. There's a little bit of influence in this country through mares and that of Cape Cross, and very good.
Yeah. He was by Green Desert, Cape Cross.
Yeah.
Very interesting horse. He had a very interesting pedigree. Talking about pedigrees, the Frankel's son, Eminent, won the Craven Stakes.
That's right.
For Martin Mead. Now, Martin Mead, I think, if my memory serves me correct, was an international event rider, okay? Son of Noel Mead. Noel Mead was a top rider and top trainer as well.
Yes.
Very good horseman family. Jim Crowley rode it, and it beat Rivet. Now, you know who Rivet is. We've chatted about Rivet before.
I read a book on shipbuilding. I found it riveting.
Riveting, no.
Yes.
Rivet was bred by Des Scott and trained by William Haggis.
Okay, there's the connection.
That ran second.
William Angus has got a very strong string suddenly. Horses coming out of nowhere. Diego, my apprentice, is over there with their two apprentices who have gone to Newmarket and they're riding out for him, which is great for them, you know.
Yeah. Just talking about the pedigree of this horse that won, Eminent by Frankel. He's 3-3 inbred to Sadler's Wells. Now you'd think that that would be a recipe for success.
Great success.
Yeah.
Wrong.
3 and 3 inbred.
Dong.
Absolutely wrong. They've had 657 crosses on that basis and 3% stakes winners.
Wow, that is a poor stat, eh?
But
James, very good for Frankel.
Fantastic. And really this horse, he's unbeaten. He looks like he could be something
James,
special.
the other Group 3 on the day, Richard Hannon stepped out in Acceleration Colt. Remember, I've been banging the Acceleration drum because one won in Cape Town this week.
Yeah, but he won. That one was the one in Cape Town. You pinned it in Australia.
I bought 2 and I got a filly back in my yard. She's a lovely filly. And I always said Acceleration was a great horse. And you know, now it's at 43 winners, Acceleration.
Yeah.
And
they'll trade on, which is good. They're looking to go a bit of a trip. Yeah. Talking about breeding, Leslie's Creek, who's the dam of Beholder, and Into Mischief, who's a stallion in America, won the 2016 Broodmare of the Year in Kentucky by the Kentucky Breeders Association. They named her as the Broodmare of the Year, which is
I think had to win, you know. Yeah. Now, what about this guy? You found a new writer, James. You like digging out these guys who can write humorous racing stories. Who's your new boy?
If you go on to ANZ, which is the Australia-New Zealand Bloodstock site, and go to Saturday's edition, it's not actually a writer. There's a trainer called John Clark in Australia, okay, and he was interviewed
Steve Moran.
But on television. So Steve Moran wrote up the interview, okay, because he said it's a classic. You got to listen to the interview. So I read it. Well, I was in stitches. This guy John Clark, they say to him, "Why would you want 457 visas to come into play?" Now, 457 visa, from what I could gather from the article, is a visa that allows you to import people to come and work in your racing stable. And to get a 4-5 visa, you've got to be able to ride a horse. So this guy, John Clark, says, it's not easy to find people to ride horses. So he said, well, why don't you use Australians? He said they're too fat and lazy to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
And he's an Aussie.
Yeah, so then it goes on and it says, well, you know, they need the 8 hours sleep. So he said, well, if I work it out, if you need 8 hours sleep, then you go to bed at 7 or 8 if you want to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It is an absolute classic.
John Clark, eh?
Yeah,
so
if you go and have a look on the ANZ newsletter, which is a great newsletter, you get kept up to date with all the stuff that's going on. You know, it's great fun. Anyway, that's it for this lot.
That's it for current affairs. I'm looking forward to speaking to Graham and of course Mike McCabe, and we'll know a bit more about this festival they do.
And on top of that, we're trying to introduce Singapore racing into winning ways. So in the middle of the interview, when we break for the Magic Millions, there'll be quite an interesting slot put together by Gareth Pepper in Singapore, which chats about Lim's Cruiser, who won the Lion Cup a couple of weeks ago. And nice of Gareth to send us the footage, and hopefully we can start doing some more business with Singapore Turf Club. And that's it from me. I hope you have a very good weekend's racing or week's racing, and enjoy Mike McCabe.
Lovely. Thanks, Jim. Hi, welcome to Your Call. As we alluded to earlier on, we were going to have Mike McCabe and Graham Hawkins. And Mike is from Pro Sport International and Graham is from Gold Circle. And we're going to talk about the racing festival that's coming up with regards to the Gold Cup. Thanks very much for coming in, guys. Graham, I'm going to pass the ball straight over to you because Mark and I knew how to lay it off. Tell us a little bit about what you've got planned.
Yeah, Paul, a couple of years back already, we were sort of considering ending the season in a more appropriate manner to try and create a racing festival to bring South Africa's champion season to a close. So we started throwing ideas around, and initially we were thinking about perhaps the Friday night and the Saturday, and then we kind of moved away from the Friday night and the Saturday to a Saturday-Sunday concept. But clearly, Paul, when you want to promote something of this nature, it's important to have the right sort of partners on board, and I'm very pleased that Gold Circle have joined forces with Pro Sport International. We've entered into a 5-year agreement whereby Mike has acquired the rights to the festival, and we're looking forward to a very successful partnership going forward and creating a new event for Durban, another reason for people to come back from around the country into Durban for something that's completely fresh.
Yeah, it sounds like a wonderful idea, Graham, but it will be the big race on the Sunday. It will be the Eland Gold Cup.
Yes, we're going to go with 9 races on the Saturday and 10 on the Sunday. So the headliner for Saturday will be the Group 1 Champions Cup, and 10 races on the Sunday. So 19 in all over the festival, as opposed to the single day 12 races that we used to promote on Eland Gold Cup Day. Eland are still on board for the naming rights to the principal race, which is the Gold Cup, and that'll be run on the Sunday.
Now, Mark, this is where you come in. Your team comes in. You take over this whole weekend. Now, you've got to provide entertainment, sponsorship, lots of things. Tell us what you're going to do.
Well, first and foremost, we're incredibly excited about this because, as you know, personally, I'm passionate about horse racing, and a number of others within our organization have the same passion. And once you're passionate about something, the rest pretty much falls into place.
Yeah.
What we intend to do is to make it a real experience without detracting from the importance of what is ultimately the most vital factor, and that's the horse racing.
Yeah.
So I'm excited in that we have 19 races, headlining the Group 1 Champions Cup on the Saturday, and then the Eland Gold Cup on the Sunday. But prior to the Saturday racing, we intend to have a gala dinner on the Thursday evening, where we can get owners and trainers and jockeys and celebrities and the general public together to celebrate the closing of what we hope is a fantastic racing season. And as you know, sometimes jockey championships, trainer championships get won over the last weekend.
Yes.
So who knows what might happen this time round. We'll have that gala dinner on the Thursday evening.
At Greyville?
Well, we're contemplating, yes, having it at Greyville. And then we want to have a really fantastic golf day on the Friday.
That makes great sense.
Then on the Saturday, our 9 races. Saturday will be, once again, without detracting from the racing, will be party day. So we want
festive scene?
Festive. We want people to really come out and enjoy it. It will culminate in a really top-class concert in the evening. And then the following day, once again, without taking away the party and enjoyment and festive aspect of the festival, be a bit more focus on horse racing, and the type of entertainment that we'll have on a Sunday will be different to that of the Saturday. So the Saturday will have its own theme, and the Sunday will have its own theme.
2 different themes.
Dress codes, prizes, entertainment will be 2 completely different themes. We've been thinking about this for a long period, so it's not something that has just cropped up overnight. And as I say, Pro Sport is absolutely thrilled to be involved with horse racing, Gold Circle, and such prestigious events as this racing festival, which really brings the curtain closed on the racing season.
I think, Graham, getting back to you, it's a wonderful idea, and I'm really right behind it, endorsing it, because I'm like you, I love my racing. We all do. The beauty is we can resurrect what was once a famous race.
That is the intention that sits behind this whole promotion. Without wanting to take the Vodacom Durban July for granted or even get blasé about the success of the Vodacom Durban July, from an on-course attendance point of view, we pretty much at saturation. So the challenge for us as the marketing division of Gold Circle is to create more events within South Africa's champion season. And it was obvious to me that
that the Eland Gold Cup Racing Festival, which as we know previously was 12 races, as is the case with the Vodacom Durban July one day, lent itself to the potential to be restructured to create this whole grand finale to South Africa's champion season. And that is really our rationale, is to try and give life back into the Eland Gold Cup. It's a fantastic race. They go around the track twice, you know, from a spectacle perspective. It's supported by great racing. It's not just the Group 1 Champions Cup and just the Group 1 Eland Gold Cup. There are a host of other feature races that will be split over the 2 days. And hopefully the buy-in from around the country in time will result in another massive event for the city and for the province. Obviously, as Mike will explain, we're laying the foundations for growth going forward. We don't intend to realize our 5-year vision in the first year. Yeah. We have plans to grow the event, but we have to start somewhere. And we think this is an exciting introduction to champion season and the most appropriate way to bring the curtain down on South Africa's champion season.
Yeah, interesting. The ground, Mark says that we want to grow it all the time. Which you've got you've acquired the rights for 5 years. So you're in a situation where you also want to make an impact initially, but you want people to see where you're going.
I think the important thing is that whatever we do in year one has to be successful, and it has to be, as you've now said, it has to be the seed that is planted for the final growth of where we want to take this. Yes. You know, we want to start in the right fashion and then build upon a successful start. I think what's also important for us to understand is that our intention is to bring new people into racing.
Yeah.
And we're hoping that doing things slightly differently in this racing festival is going to introduce the beautiful sport of horse racing to people who might be on the fence, wanting to get involved, but not sure that they want to be involved. And when I talk about involvement, I'm talking about supporting the race days, coming out and enjoying the event, because it is an event. And I want to allude to something else after this, but also to encourage new blood in horse ownership.
Yeah, that's important.
And that's important. And the way you do that is to create an incredible vibe on course.
Yeah.
Because there is nothing more exciting, and I've been blessed enough and privileged enough to lead in a number of winners. As an owner, there is nothing more exciting than leading a horse into the winning stall.
Yeah,
the winning in the parade. You know.
So you haven't much time, if I can say it to both of you. You're in a situation where you say, oh, it's the Gold Cup. It's not that far away.
No, it's not.
So you've now got to just look at the entertainment for the 2 days. You say you're going to have a band or a concert to end Saturday. Where would that be, Graham? Down under the big TV?
Down on the stage, across the track, just across the track there, underneath the big screen, there is a stage that we built some time back, with a view to introducing these sort of events. When we changed the big screen and we created the stage, it was always ultimately with the objective of using that area on the infield as an entertainment venue.
Yeah. Michael, coming back to you, now you've got the venue, you've got to try and get the best you can. You've got to get the name out there. I know when we go to Dubai for World Cup night with Phil Giorgio and his team, I remember the one year they had Carlos Santana and Elton John, and they were always trying to bring J-Lo came the next week, and I mean the next year. So you've got to try and say, I'm going to get the younger crowd in early, and hopefully they'll stay on for the next day. But you've got to try and get a band and get its name out there quite quickly.
Without a doubt, and we've already put together a few names. One thing I can assure you is that whatever we do, we're going to be doing it properly. And if we do get performers to play live music, they're going to be well-known, super popular performers.
That's fantastic.
And as much as we don't have much time, we're confident that given what we're going to be offering, we're going to attract some of the best names in South African music. That's my honest opinion.
Yes.
And we're going to be attracting some very, very interesting ideas and sponsorships going along with the festival.
That's a big thing. Sponsorship. So Michael, you're going to go out there and get sponsorship.
Without a doubt.
That's a big plus.
Without a doubt.
Racing's
and I don't have to tell you, we're in a tough economic climate where, you know, where marketing spend isn't as as loose as it used to be, you know, where corporates are tightening their belts all over the place. However, I've always believed that if you have something that's innovative, if you have something that touches your target market, physically touches your target market, you can promote your brand fantastically well if you align it with the right property and it's leveraged in the right way. And that's what we're hoping. We're hoping to take our success in football and what we've done in football sponsorships and leveraging and brand matching in that area and bring it into racing. And let's look at maybe trying to get some sort of cross-pollination of different sports on the 2 days or over the 2 or 3 days. So that's our intention. Our intention is to make this something different and really exciting.
Michael, if you look at the major sports that we compete against with racing, they survive on gate takings, sponsorships, and TV.
Yes.
Which we don't get.
Correct.
We don't get. So it's a tough task. I know I don't want to be the devil's advocate here, and I'm very confident you're going to do it right. But it's a mountain to climb.
Yes, it is. But you know, you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And I've always believed the following: for us to get to the point where we will get to, not where we hope to get to, we will get to that point eventually. We have to make sure that what we're offering is properly branded and is properly aligned with the corporate the corporates that we want to get involved with this festival.
I'm going to make sure that we have you on at least a month or two before, and just to check your progress and keep people up to speed. Graham, I'm going to give you one of the last deliveries to handle. One of the big things of our racing season down here was the green jacket. Now, the green jacket is famous for great fun amongst all the cross-section of the racing public. We have a situation now that the Sunday's been utilised. Will you push out the green jacket?
Yes, I'm happy to advise. I didn't realise the Racing Masters was that important to you, but I'm really thrilled it is, because it's a great way to continue the party. And yes, we pushed the Racing Masters out by a day. So we'll go in on the Monday, we'll play on the Tuesday, Wednesday, come out on the Thursday, and we've moved the midweek KZN meeting to the Thursday for that reason. I'm also pleased to say that obviously before this announcement, Mike and I have been engaging over many, many months to get to the point that we are at now, where we do have a signed agreement. We have the commitment from Pro Sport International. But I can tell you that also we've engaged with the province, we've engaged with the city. They are super excited that there is the prospect of bringing life back into the Gold Cup, to the stature and the popularity that it once enjoyed so many years ago, that we are creating another racing festival here at Greyville a couple of weeks after the Vodacom Durban July, which has the potential to bring the tourists back in and provide an economic boom for the city and the province. As Mike said, we live in very tough economic times. So we're going to have to get innovative, is the word that Mike used. We're not necessarily looking for huge monies from one or two sponsors. I think Mike's idea is to bring many sponsors on board with small bites, to create variety and to offer a lot more to so many more. But at the heart of it all, as Mike said, it's quality racing. It's the end of the Champions season. Champions will be decided on the day. It's the last season for the Jockeys Championship, the Trainers Championship to be decided. And if it's already decided, we'll use the opportunity to honour those guys, because they will be huge celebrities on the day, along with celebrities from all walks of life. And I love the idea that Mike has brought to the party. He brings with him such a wealth of experience and knowledge across sporting barriers, that we can turn this racing festival into an occasion where we can incorporate other sporting heroes and other sports brands, is something we're aiming for. And I think this man is the right man to drive that.
I agree with you. I've known Michael many years. Mike, I'm very confident you're going to do a great job, and I'm right behind you. And I think the whole province will be right behind, probably the whole country behind you, because anything that's successful in racing, we all look forward to it. We've just had Princess Charlene up in Johannesburg for their race meeting. It was fantastic. So all I can say is I'm going to wish you everything of the best, and I want to meet with you a couple of times before, if you don't mind, just to give us a progress, because it's important.
No, that's fantastic. And I think the most important thing here is I see it as a partnership between Pro Sport International, Gold Circle and South African horse racing. And it's impossible for us to do this on our own, but I do have the confidence that my partners that I'm joining hands with are going to pull in the same direction. We all have a common objective, and that's to make horse racing more exciting and more successful.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much for coming in, guys. We will watch this space and get more from you. And wonderful to talk to them, Michael and Graham, to know where we're going. And we'll be back in a moment with our graduate. All right, this week's graduate is Roy's Rolls Royce, purchased by myself a few years back, won again. And well done to Roy Moodley, he owns it. Another good win for the successful Magic Millions graduates. Right, the last part, the last section we're going to be talking about, James alluded to earlier in the show, is our Singapore slot. And Gareth Pepper has sent us some information which we're going to show you. It's a Magic Millions horse who has won well in Singapore, and watch this space for more info on that area as well.
We're so proud and happy with the Limbs Cruiser's win on Sunday, because he's just done everything right this campaign. His first up run, he was nice and fresh, and 6 furlongs we thought might be a bit short, but he came from the back and he showed good acceleration to burst through and win. Then we had second thoughts whether we're going to run him last Sunday, but being a race worth 800,000 and being in form, we thought, well, we'll give him his chance. And it's at weight for age, so it was a little bit difficult. There was a few queries there. But he did the job well, you know, he settled back well. I find that this preparation, he's really come into himself. He's got a better attitude, he doesn't get as stirred up. You could ride him anywhere, like if the pace is slow, especially when he gets to a mile, you could put him in the first 3 or 4. In these shorter races, they ride him back, and he's got a real good acceleration. He's had the luck, his last 2 starts, but they've been emphatic wins, you know, they've been strong wins. I'm just happy for the stable. I think that there's no doubt that Stephen Gray looks after him very well. You know, I think he's a very good horse trainer, and he handles his horse very good. And for the boss, Lim Samong, well, you know, his whole dream is to get a good horse and to win 2 good races within a short period of time, and for him to have you know, chances to coming up in the big 4-year-old season. Like, there's some good 4-year-olds around too, but I don't think 6 furlongs is his main distance. I think when he gets to 7 furlongs a mile, it'll even be better. So he's going to give any horse a race.
Okay, Limbs Cruiser was a great win there on the Lion City last Sunday. He's really done a fantastic job, this horse. Stepped up to Group 1 company for the first time and won with great authority. The horse is an exciting horse. Stephen Gray's prepared him terrifically throughout his career and handled him beautifully, placed him very, very well. And seeing his results with 2 group races and culminating in a Group 1 win his last start. It's all before him. He'll go to the 4-year-old series now, and he's an exciting prospect. Big congratulations to Mr. Lim. He's a great supporter of the Turf Club and a great supporter of mine, and forever thankful for him, and he really deserves a horse like this to keep him in the limelight. It's very, very good for racing in Singapore.
And now they're set to go for the Lion City Cup. Heavy downpour prior to the race. They're set and they're racing in the Group 1, and Wimbledon from stall 1 away fast. Alibi got tightened up, and Nova Strike as well, and that pair have gone back to the tail, and Emperor Max has come out running on the outside, and the Old Veteran looks for the front. Forever Young got tightened up, has gone back about 4th, so sorting themselves out, and it's Wimbledon the Stallion going through to lead out. From on the outside, Emperor Max about 2.5 lengths away, then Hip Hip Hooray, Forever Young as they scoot along, then Stormtroops, who's back about 5th. Limbs Cruiser next on the rails from Nova Strike, Best of the Line, and Alibi over on the inside is back in second. Last as Best of the Line has gone back to last, but it's Wimbledon and also Emperor Max are a mile in front as they work down towards the turn. 23.60 on a yielding track. They've scooted along through the first portion of the race, and it's Wimbledon held together here for Jurek. Emperor Max on the outside, and then Limbs Cruiser, who starts to make his run over near the rails. Hip Hip Hooray, Forever Young, Stormtroops down the outside, and Alibi is badly held up. 300 metres to go in the Lion City, and Limbs Cruiser storming through between Wimbledon and Emperor Max, who looks done with. It's Limbs Cruiser who's got the front. Stormtroops is the one who's emerging. 100 metres to go, but Limbs Cruiser, the new star of the turf in Singapore, is coming away for the Lion City Cup, and it's Limbs Cruiser who wins it by 2. Second Alibi, and third goes the way of Stormtroops. Further back behind those then Forever Young, Nova Strike, and then Best of the Line, Wimbledon knocked up. In behind those then we've got Hip Hip Hooray, and the Old Veteran Emperor Max has to settle for last in the Lion City.
Your world of winners is now online at www.teletrack.com. Simply subscribe to log into your account from any mobile device in South Africa and access a wide variety of content from our membership package options. Listen in via a live audio stream, catch live racing locally and internationally, or view a wide variety of Teletrack magazine shows to stay informed and updated on the go at any time. It's never been easier. Go to teletrack.com now.